Hey, this is Sean Pickett. I'm the founder and CEO of Sales Integrity, a B2B tech sales coach, and your host for the Sales Integrity Podcast. I'm ready to make it another great podcast today. And with that, let's get today's episode rocking and rolling. All right, welcome back to the Sales Integrity Podcast. I'm Sean Pickett. I'm your host, and we continue on with our Q&A Ask the Coach format that we've been doing the last couple of weeks, getting a lot of good questions submitted from the listeners out there, and we're just going to dive right into today's question and topic. This question today was submitted by Les Airsom. And Les, if you go to lesairsom.com, that's LESEHRSAM. So that's LESEHRSAM. There's really two things that Les is focused on. He's part of the North Texas Crime Commission. It's the Cyber Crime Committee where members exchange valuable intelligence on current and emerging cyber crimes, malware, and online scams. So that's his main focus there. He also is a mentor for the University of North Texas. He volunteers his time to help the students out there with the professional leadership program. So you can learn a little bit more about Les, what he's doing with the North Texas Crime Commission and the University of North Texas Professional Leadership Programs by going to lesairsom.com, LESEHRSAM.com. That's right. If you submit a question, I'll go ahead and promote you and your business just like I did for Les. So send those questions in to Ask Sean at salesintegrity.com. That's ask as in asking a question. And Sean is spelled the Irish way, SEAN. So ask Sean at salesintegrity.com. Send your questions in. You just might be featured on the podcast. So without further ado, let's dive right into Les's question. Les, you asked this. You said, Sean, I have received a request from longtime contacts in my network to join Alignable, the small business network, which seems to be an alternative to LinkedIn. The site description seems to be very similar to LinkedIn. Do we really need another social selling network since there already seems to be some overlap between Facebook and LinkedIn? So first thing I want to tackle is answering the question, what the heck is Alignable? Because maybe some of you out there who are very involved with social selling, specifically using LinkedIn and maybe even Facebook, maybe haven't even heard of Alignable. This has come across my desk in the last, year and a half or so. Alignable did. I joined it. It's sporadic use for me, and let me share with you why. As you know, the primary makeup of our audience is B2B tech sales professionals, right? So if you have a complex technical product, service, or solution that you're selling in a team pursuit sales cycle, so you got 4-legged, 6-legged, 8-legged sales calls going on, typically lengthier sales cycles, 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And you're selling to senior executives at companies and their team of influencers, evaluators, decision makers. That tends to be the makeup of our audience. That's who we focus on at Sales Integrity. Those are our customers, but that's the makeup of this audience for the Sales Integrity podcast, for the bulk of them at least. So if that's the case, you have a B2B sale, right? And Alignable is the small business network. So the first and foremost, if you sell, it all starts with your audience, right? So even when we're coaching sales professionals, Les, the very first thing we start with is helping them define their target audience. Who is your target audience? That helps you understand. The next question is, where do you find them? How do you connect with them? How do you communicate with them and all that good stuff, right? So social networks are just a mechanism for you to connect, find and connect with target market prospects, which are also known as your target audience. And so I think there can never be too many social networks as long as you're not spending time in too many, right? You don't want to be in 3, 5, 7 social networks. You really want to narrow that focus down. So if your target market, your target audience are small business owners, then I think Alignable is something you should explore. Even if you're on LinkedIn, I do think Alignable is something you should explore because these are small business owners, and I've had some experience with this, with Alignable, and just seeing, kind of watching the market going on there, interacting there. So just keep that in mind. So if your target audience are small business owners, small businesses, then this could be a good network for you. The thing that they really promote, and first of all, it's a free network. So there's no pricing or anything you have to pay. So it can't hurt, especially if you're focusing on small businesses. But less if you're not focusing on small businesses. And LinkedIn obviously is the monster network out there for B2B. I would just stick with LinkedIn, and you're on Facebook you're on Facebook as well from what your question is. And I just knowing you that you're on Facebook as well, I think those two would probably suffice for you specifically. So you probably don't need to go onto Alignable. But for the rest of the audience out there, if you do have small business owners, this is a site that basically says join the free network trusted by small business owners. And they have kind of the power of 3 for their messaging. Networking is the first one. Connect to small business owners in your community, and I'll talk about that in a second. Word of mouth, increase local awareness for your business and expertise, and then referrals, exchange and track referrals all in one place. So where LinkedIn has a variety of different tools, they have groups, they have the LinkedIn, the published articles and blog posts that you can see out there. They have the activity stream wall where you can see what your network's up to. They have Sales Navigator, they have Sales Recruiter. There's a variety of different tools or components to LinkedIn. Alignable is really, really focused just on small business owners, just on connecting with them through this network, just like LinkedIn, but increasing local awareness in your community through word of mouth and then tracking the referrals here. So it's kind of like Yelp meets LinkedIn for small business owners. That's kind of the best way I can describe it. The one thing I do want to point out, I keep mentioning the community and the local expertise. If you especially have a geo-local, you're focused on the local geography, just you have a territory and I've got these 5 zip codes, or I'm in downtown Dallas and I can only sell to companies within a 10, 15 mile radius, for instance. And if your target market is small business owners, then Alignable is a great network for you, because I did notice that is a strength of theirs, where they really only show you local small business owners that are just within 10, 15 miles. You can kind of expand your search and all that, but immediately they serve that up. The other thing is, if I just went on there and kind of set up my profile and stuff, and then I'm constantly getting inbound requests to connect from small business owners that are kind of surrounding my area where I'm at in Dallas. So that's something that's intriguing, especially if you're selling to small businesses. That's something you need to look at. But anyhow, to wrap this up, that is my answer for you, Les, where you said, do we really need another social selling network, since there already seems to be some overlap between Facebook and LinkedIn? When I look at Facebook and LinkedIn, they're bigger, they're massive, of course. And if you're in the small business game, selling to small business owners and small businesses, and you are a small business, I think I would urge you to strongly consider Alignable and signing up for that. Recently, I conducted a workshop for the North Texas region for all of Regis, all the area sales managers. And it was a wonderful experience there, learning about how they sell and helping them with that. But Alignable, ironically enough, Les, your question was well timed. Alignable was one of the things I recommended to them, because they are looking for local, small business owners, maybe that are officing out of their houses, that are ready to make a step up to a workspace solution at Regis or one of their facilities there. So again, that's a good use case example. They're targeting those startup and small business owners. That makes perfect sense for their type of sale and their target market. So just look at who your target audience is, your target market prospects, and if they are small business owners, they are startups, and you do want to connect with them, either to network with them or to sell directly to them, I think Alignable is a great solution for you to look at. If not, I think you should ignore it, because there's no sense taking on another social network if you're just not focused in that space. This won't work for those that are listening that are selling large, complex technical solutions to enterprises, Fortune 1000, Fortune 100, Fortune 500, whatever it may be. If you're selling to large companies, that just isn't the place for you. So I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. So that is my answer for you, Les. Thank you for submitting the question. Again, if you have a question you want to have featured on the Ask the Coach Q&A format here on the Sales Integrity Podcast, just send it to asksean@salesintegrity.com. Again, ask, SEAN, at salesintegrity.com. And that will do it for today's episode. Let's end today's episode with just a few quick reminders. No matter where you listen to the Sales Integrity Podcast, please subscribe to it. Just subscribe to the show so you get them automatically on a weekly basis. The more subscribers we have, the more we're found out there by other potential subscribers, so that greatly helps the show. We are now on Stitcher Radio, so in addition to Stitcher, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. And no matter where you subscribe or listen to us, please provide a 5-star rating and a quick 1 to 2 sentence review. That also helps others find the podcast. So help us grow the show. That would be great. And also, we still have our free 7-day video email course out there. You can go to mastercomplexselling.com to subscribe to that. So again, mastercomplexselling.com. It's a free 7-day video email course titled 7 Steps to Master the Game of Complex Technical Selling. So that'll do it for today. Go out there in the sales world today. Help your customers buy what they want, what they need, and what benefits them. And most importantly, go out there and make it a great day.